Okay, let's be real. Planning a move is a massive headache. But what if I told you there's a way to make it way smoother and a whole lot less stressful? Today we're diving into why hiring local movers might just be the smartest decision you can make for your move. You're supposed to be excited about a new home, right? But the reality of actually moving, wow, it can be just so overwhelming. From trying to pack everything you own to coordinating all the logistics, the stress can build up fast. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll tackle the big problems with trying to do it all yourself. Then we'll get into what I call the local advantage. After that, we'll talk about keeping your stuff safe and sound. And finally, I'll give you a super simple checklist for picking the right people for the job. All right, let's dive right in. First up, the problem with moving. We're talking about the hidden costs, and I don't just mean money, of trying to go it alone. And look, if you find moving totally stressful, you are not alone. I mean, there's a reason it's consistently ranked as one of the most stressful things you can go through in life. It's a huge mental and physical burden, especially when you're trying to handle the whole thing yourself. So let's look at the two paths you can take, the DIY move versus hiring pros. And honestly, the difference is night and day. Doing it yourself, you're often looking at physical strain, so much wasted time, and a really high risk of breaking your favorite lamp. But when you bring in professionals, you get efficiency and expertise. It can literally transform the entire experience. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of why DIY moves are so tough. First, you're always fighting the clock, right? You've got a deadline. Then there's the physical side. You're risking your back with all that heavy lifting. Plus, you probably don't have dollies or the right straps. And all that inexperience, that's exactly how your valuable stuff ends up damaged. So, if doing it yourself is so risky, what's the answer? Well, that brings us to our next section, the local advantage. This is where we talk about why hiring a company right in your own neighborhood can be a total game changer. Okay, here's something that surprises a lot of people. Going local can actually save you money. You might think those huge national chains have the best deals, but think about it. Local movers often have way lower overhead. And guess where those savings go? Right back to you. And when you actually put them side by side, it becomes super clear. Local guys usually lower overhead costs, which means better rates for you. Their travel fees are basically nothing because they're already in your area. And a big one, they're often way more flexible with pricing. They can tailor a quote to your specific needs instead of just plugging you into some rigid, one-size-fits-all formula. But it's not just about the money. It's about that local know-how. Your local movers know this city. They know the back streets, the traffic nightmares to avoid, and the best times to be on the road. They can plan the fastest route, dodge that unexpected construction, and even handle annoying local rules like parking permits. That kind of insider knowledge, you can't put a price on that. All right, so they're efficient, they're smart, but what about keeping your stuff safe? This is huge. Let's move on to how professional movers secure your belongings every single step of the way. This is where we get into what's called full-service support. And what does that mean? It means you can literally hand over the entire process to the experts. We're talking packing, heavy lifting, transport, even temporary storage if you need it. And the result for you? Total, complete peace of mind. So how do they actually protect your fragile stuff? Well, it's not just throwing things in boxes. It's a whole system. They use high-quality materials. They have specific wrapping techniques for things like glassware or art. They label everything clearly so you know where it goes. And they even place things strategically in the truck to stop it all from shifting around. It's really a science. So see, you're not just getting a couple of people to move boxes. You're getting a whole suite of services that solve all the biggest moving problems. You get packing assistants that can save you days of work. You get experts who handle the heavy lifting so you don't throw your back out. And you get the option for storage, which is a lifesaver if your move-in and move-out dates don't line up perfectly. But what happens if something does go wrong? I mean, even with the absolute best pros, accidents are possible. That's where insurance comes in. Any reputable company will always be insured. This gives you a critical safety net and financial protection for your belongings. It's a non-negotiable. Okay, so you're on board. Hiring local pros sounds like the way to go, but how do you find the right company? In our final section, I'm going to give you a super simple checklist to help you find a mover you can really trust. When you start your research, you're going to want to keep an eye out for a few key things. First, look for a solid history of positive reviews. See what other people are saying. Next, and this is a must, confirm they have the proper licensing and insurance. Pay attention to their professionalism when you talk to them. Do they sound like they know what they're doing? And finally, make sure they have the right equipment, like a proper truck and moving gear, to handle your stuff safely. And here is my single most important tip. Always ask for a detailed written quote. A trustworthy company will be totally transparent about their pricing. You want to see a clear breakdown of all the costs and, ideally, a guarantee of no hidden fees. That financial clarity is everything. You know, when it comes down to it, hiring local professionals isn't just about moving boxes from one place to another. It's about buying back your time, getting rid of all that stress, and protecting the things you own. It turns what could be a really daunting task into a smooth, easy transition. So the real question is, are you ready to skip all that hassle and actually focus on the excitement of your new home?